historic stadium, home to the Iron Horse and the Great Dane, to Wilson and Alvarez. Camp Randall Stadium in Madtown, home to the Wisconsin Badgers. We've got a sensational matchup for you. Fans have been filing in and getting ready for this game, as we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Syracuse Orange, taking on a team from the Big Ten, the Wisconsin Badgers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Syracuse will kick off and we'll be underway. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Wisconsin's offense will take the first swing of the game. And this guy is a big-time star. Just an electricity follows him onto the field.
He's a workhorse too, Reese. This is a definition of a bell cow running back. He can carry the load for his offense and put his football team on his back.
And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the first down.
You know, you start day one of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a first down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. Not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the end, they're effective, and they get you that new set of downs when you need them.
They'll run it from the gun. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
Now, that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Right back to him on the ground. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. They try to pop a run on the draw. And he'll pick up the first down after a tough run there.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on 3rd down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
Leaves it with the running back. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. When those guys, those running backs come in, they just need a mid. They put one mid on a running back, and he usually falls to the ground just because of their sheer mass and strength.
To the air, it's Van Dyke. He's got his man. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
I really like the slot receiver, and I understand he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he just runs really good routes, and he's always under control. He can run option routes. He can run double moves. He does a great job cutting, and he's dangerous after the catch. Nice weapon to have work in the middle of the field.
They'll try to run for it. The Badgers get enough for the first down.
Hard to imagine this is only their first drive of the game, but their defense was on the field for virtually an entire quarter. So, guys, there's a lot of pressure on this offense here to convert this 3rd down so their defense can stay on the sideline and get their win back.
We've reached the end of the first quarter, and it has been a defensive battle, and the stats tell the tale so far. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the 2nd. And the Badgers getting set on 1st and 10. They're getting this guy lathered up. Across the 25, he's got room. He showed it all there, a little elusiveness, a little power, and he's got the first down.
Well, it's a really nice job of the offense mixing it up on this drive. We've seen some nice plays throwing it, and how about that one running it too? Great push up front.
Just inside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 19. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Well, it's a nice job by the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quickly on that RPO. He saw something he liked, just not on the same page with his receiver.
They are controlling the ball. 9th play of the drive. Quarterback on the keeper. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening.
The offense thought they had a good look to run that play into with the QB, but there's just an example of a defender winning his one-on-one battle and making a tremendous play. Great effort by that guy.
10th play of the drive coming up, at this time a chance for the defense to get off the field on 3rd and long. Wants to throw. It's Van Dyke. Gets it out quickly. He stopped just short of the goal line at the 1. An explosive play has him set up. The Badgers will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. Using his feet. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Well, your opponent can't beat you if you don't give them the football, and they were able to possess it throughout the entire first quarter, and they finally cap it off with that impressive rushing touchdown.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 7-0. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll start the return inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Syracuse's offense will try to get something going with their first possession. And it won't be easy to throw the ball down the field today, David, because both of these teams have lockdown corners.
I mean, these guys shut down half of the field. Playmaking cornerbacks that really can play man-to-man and lock down the best guys on the other side.
Yeah, if I'm a quarterback in this game, I am taking a calculated risk if I'm thrown towards one of these two dudes, because you're just asking to get picked off.
Syracuse right back at it. They'll throw it on 1st down. Feeling some heat. And it's incomplete. It was wild, high and wide on that one.
And here's a great example of living to play another day. QB in the pocket, nobody open, throw it out of bounds.
And after the incompletion on 1st down, this offense looking at 2nd down. Looking to throw, it's McCord. Fires to the wideout. Complete to the left. And a big gain there. He's knocked down immediately at the 45. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. Looking to throw it again. Good timing on the quick out. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tackle.
On 2nd down, they'll take to the air. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it.
Yeah, and that's a timing route. You throw those out routes to your receivers, and he gets out of his break, and he gets his head around, and ideally you want him to get his head around right in time to catch that football, and you could just tell he didn't get comfortable, didn't get his hands around, his head around in the right time, and he just gets a drop.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd down. Quick completion on the out. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
And had they not picked up that first down, it would have been decision time for the head coach, right? You're kind of in no man's land on the fridge. Are you trying a long field goal? Are you going for it on fourth down? But because of the execution there and the nice throw, let's keep this drive going. Let's see if we can get 6.
And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. And it's caught! Touchdown, Orange!
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. You trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
PAT unit on the field. Splits the uprights. An 84-yard drive there, and they finish it by firing one in from the 13 for the score. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First down here for the offense. They move the tight end all over. On the ground, it's Malusi. Just wanted to find a little space to run and ekes out some to get it up to the 21. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, yeoman's work so far in Madison, and welcome in to the halftime update. And a really competitive game so far. I'm talking razor-thin margins in the big statistical categories. And while it may be a broken record, turnovers are the name of the game. The team that limits them, the ones that win that turnover margin, generally speaking, are the ones that have the best chance to get that dub. And with that, let's head back to a great scene there in Camp Randall.
Just about set to put toe to leathers. We are deadlocked here in the third. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game. Hit the gas, kid. Wide open ahead. He's at the 20. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
Yeah, and listen, QB's got to find ways to push the ball down the field and make sure defenses don't just sit in zones and stay shallow. Nice job by the QB. Push it down the field. Make some big plays, baby.
This offense trying to quieten the crowd on first and goal, and they are not cooperating. They're going to run it. And the defense sold out to stop the run, and they do here on first down.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Now second and goal, and right in the teeth of this noise. Tries again to get it in. Touchdown, Cuse. And that one will give him the lead. up and over. Yamo be there into the end zone.
And you don't want to leave your feet very often in football, but this is one of those areas where you do. In the end zone, near the goal line, you smell it. A lot of bodies in front of you. Just get up, get over top of them, get that touchdown.
Getting set for the point after. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And Wisconsin has its offense back on the field. He'll come out throwing on first down. Caught in the backfield, it's Malusi.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
And the Badgers headed quickly to the line. The give to the right. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own, and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
Facing a third down and short from the 26. To the air, it's Van Dyke. Works the middle of the field. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42. Let me tell you, this senior quarterback can flat fit it in a tight window.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
They get him down after he makes the catch.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. They get in the backfield and make the play, and that's how they'll finish off this third period. Guys, we're at the end of the quarter, and Syracuse has the lead. They've built a cushion. They've got a nice lead. Now the task is finish the deal as you take a look at the third quarter stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. On third down, going up top. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
And on that third down play, there just wasn't any timing between the quarterback as an intended target. As a result, ball falls incomplete, setting up fourth.
The Badgers will bring the punt team onto the field. Finally sending out a punter in this one. Got to make sure they earn their letter. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Grabbed over the middle, it's Gadsden. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Going up top on first down. And boy, was that pressure in his face immediately. Down he goes. We've reached a 2-minute warning in this offense, trying to milk this clock and keep time on their side. They'll try to keep that sack from wrecking this drive here on 2nd and 15. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. And the freshman does a great job using his technique and getting the man on the ground. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. These fans stepping up to help this defense on 3rd down. On the run, it's Allen. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Syracuse will send out the punt team. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. On the return, it's Anthony. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. The Wisconsin offense will come back on the field to jump around a bit. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down, clock's running. Looking downfield, it's Van Dyke. Fires into traffic, intercepted. Bringing it back. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Syracuse. A great return for the touchdown. Any return for a touchdown is a great one to a defense.
Man, what a play by this defense. You're trying to get the ball back to your offense, trying to salt this game away and get the win. Not only do you create the turnover, you get the touchdown. Now you take a 2-score lead late in this ball game. This defense just stepped up in a big moment.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the 4th. They're lining up to kick it off after the pick 6, and that defense will come out feeling it. On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And Wisconsin has its offense back on the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick 6, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick 6 and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do, because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out, not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
And the offense just chooses to spike the ball. Now on 2nd down. Back to throw, it's Van Dyke. A strike downfield. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. Got to get everyone set. They spike it to stop the clock. Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. It's complete. The offense will use a timeout with 25 seconds left. And the Badgers have it with a 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Looking for the end zone. He's got it. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Badger!
If we had any chance to make this happen, we had to score with a little bit of time on the clock. Now we need a miracle. Now we need to kick the onside, get an onside kick, and somehow, some way, make a big play.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. 16 seconds left, and to pull off the comeback, they'll have to get the onside kick. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it. He had nowhere to go, no place to hide, and they'll knock him down for a loss of 9. Looks like the offense will just take a knee.